Hey, Dusk here. So I wanted to real quick just make a short video on the Sapphire Jackal patch for Company of Heroes 3. I'm not going to go over the whole patch because it's absolutely massive. Look at this thing. Some people are claiming this is actually a small patch because they scrolled down to the balance section and there wasn't a lot here. But so many gamers are so guilty of not realizing that bug fixes affect balance. These are balance changes, whether you want to acknowledge that or not. For example, my Panzer Command Tank in the breakthrough tree now actually functions and has an aura. That's a pretty big buff for breakthrough players like myself. So yeah, this is a big patch. Now, is it sweeping changes across the board? No, it's not that, but those kinds of patches are awful because what happens is you have your target balance, but when you make huge balance changes, you overshoot it in that direction, and then you go back the other way and you overshoot it that way, and then you overshoot it, and your game is just always a mess, and then it dies. So overall, I really like the Sapphire Jackal patch. It's really good. We now have the store in, as predicted. It's only cosmetics, but I'm confident they'll add battle groups here in the future. But I'm fine with that too, as long as they're not pay-to-win battle groups, and it's just a way to expand on the game. But given that battle groups don't have rarities, I feel pretty confident that that's not going to be the case. So everything looks pretty good and on the up and up. It's just the balance and the state of the game isn't great right now. And that has to do with the framework of the game. They wanted to make rounds shorter so that they were more watchable, more tournament friendly, more esports friendly, which is good because it means they want to appeal to a larger audience and get more players on board this time around, which is good. But with shorter rounds, other issues are compounded, and that's the fact that weapons teams are very weak in Company of Heroes 3, and that is compounded further by the fact that countermeasures to weapons teams, the abundance of smoke and call-in artillery, are extremely strong in Go 3, which means that your only real option is to stick with higher mobility units, which are typically infantry, and your best infantry are going to be your anti-armor, anti-tank stuff, so that you don't have to worry about vehicles, and then boom, there you go. This is best seen by the Jaeger squad, and I'm a Wehrmacht player, so this is my squad that's guilty of this. You have a Jaeger squad, which is really good at anti-infantry. They're long range, which means if you have a blob, they can very easily focus fire, one squad at a time down as they're approaching. They have access to smoke and Panzer Shreks, which means they counter infantry, they counter armor, and they counter the weapons teams that are supposed to counter them. And then, if you want, they'll also have access to flares so that they have a better, view of the battlefield, which means they don't even need to flank, which makes it even easier just to blob these guys and just throw the smoke where you need it and then just roll over your opponent, right? You cannot have weapons teams be weak and then also give strong counters to them. So, that framework, that dynamic needs to eventually change. Anyway, that's pretty much it.